Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting another reading vlog. I took a little break between reading the Throne of Glass series, so right now I'm mostly going to mood read for I think about a weekish, but who knows, I didn't plan this video out. So I might just take you along with, I don't know, a month of reading. Just kidding, probably not. I'm currently reading The Mist by Stephen King. I'm reading it on my Kindle right now. I'm actually already 69% into this book. I started it yesterday and it's a novella of like 200 pages, so it isn't that long. I'm reading it for my book club and I need to finish it in like, I think 6 days. So I'll be able to do it. I think I'm going to finish up this book today. And I think more for my TBR, I'm thinking on reading a book by Helen Scheuerer, I think. I got a book in from Fairy Loot from my subscription, the romancy book. It was an Iron and Embers, and it's the first book in another series by her. It's a series of Tesmar, I think. She already wrote some books, and it's a completed series of, I think, 6 books already. And the new book that I got in is going to be another start of the series in like the same world, but with like other characters. So I actually want to read her other series first. So I'm thinking on starting that one. It's an Alchemist Vow. It's like the first novella in the series. And it's only 60 pages, 70 pages long, I believe. So I'm thinking on reading this next, but honest to God, after reading a strict TBR, I really feel like mood reading right now, so I might not read this. Who knows? Next up on my TBR is an absolutely remarkable thing by Hank Green. This is a book I was gifted by a dear friend, so I want to read this rather sooner than later. But I need to be in the mood for this as well. I'm not that sure what the book is actually about. I think it's like a literary fiction, but I'm not really sure. Let's see. In New York City at 3 a.m., April May stumbles across a giant sculpture, like a 10-foot tall transformer wearing a suit of samurai armor. Together with her best friend Andy, she names it Carl and films a quick video for YouTube. The next day, April wakes up to a viral sensation, I wish, and a new life. The Carls have appeared in dozens of cities around the world, and April seizes the opportunity to become their international spokesperson. She gains an army of followers, but in being famous, really worth putting her relationships, her safety, and even her own identity at risk? Now all eyes are on April to figure out not just what the Carls are, but what they want from us before it's too late. This sounds really weird, but thank you for the book anyway, because I know you'll be watching this. Okay, I am excited. It sounds weird, but honest to God, I like weird stories, so we'll see if I'm in the mood for reading this. And next up, I was thinking on reading Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I have been delaying reading this because I know a lot of people didn't really love this one that much. The first one was okay in my opinion, and I think I rated it like 3 or maybe 3.5 stars. So I was a little scared on starting this one because I know a lot of people said this was like their least favorite in the series. But the third one was supposed to be great, so I want to read the third one. But in my opinion, I need to read this one first. So we'll just get through this eventually. I think it's also a really short book, like 300 pages, a little less even, 285. So it'll be a quick, fun read. And I'm somehow kind of in a romance mood a little bit lately, which isn't like that normal for me. So I want to pick up the opportunity while it's still here and read a romance while I'm in the mood for it. So I might get to this one as well. I'm also listening to some audiobooks. I started Two Can Play by Ellie Hazelwood today. It's like a really short one, I think. It's like 4.5 hours. So I'll be finishing that up soon as well. It's about video games, which I love. I'm a passionate gamer. So I thought it would be fun to listen to a romance audiobook, especially in the month of February, still the month of love. I thought it would be great to listen to something like that. So I'm sure I'll be finishing that in this vlog as well. And I'm not that sure on which audiobooks I'm going to pick up next because I got like a backlog of 30 purchased audiobooks. So honest to God, we'll see. Video might be a little chaotic because I didn't really plan it out, but we'll start by finishing up The Mist and I'll tell you more of my thoughts when I finished it. Tell me why, when trying to see how many pages the book is, I just read the last 2 words of this book. Yeah. Okay, so small reading update. I managed to finish The Mist by Stephen King, which I was reading for my book club. And it's a short, like, novella book. It's only about 200 pages long. So I finished it in 2 days. I really enjoyed the read, though I think it started a bit slow, but it was also for me getting used to like reading this type of book again because I've been reading a lot of fantasy lately. But as per usual, Stephen can grip you into his story pretty quick and his writing is amazing like usual. So I gave it 4 stars. I think the overall story and the horror aspects were really fun, though I was a little bit sad that it ended so quickly. The ending is also different than the movie, so if you've watched the movie, I would still recommend reading the book. I think I can't really say which ending I liked more, because I think the ending in the movie was really devastating and really shocking. And I didn't know that the book had a different ending. So I was kind of like expecting something different to happen. So it was nice to read something else. My only complaint with the book is that I didn't really like the main male character, though his overall actions were okay. Tell me why this man was away from his wife for like a few hours and already wanted to sleep with another woman. I know, desperate times, desperate measures, but honestly that was a little detail that he could have left out of the book, in my opinion. I also started An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. I wasn't sure on whether I wanted to read this one or Swift and Settled, because I actually was a little bit in a romance mood, but because I was gifted this book, I wanted to read this, especially because I'm scared that if I won't read it now, it'll get on the backlog for a really long time again. I didn't want to do that. First of all, I was really scared getting into this book because when I looked it up at Goodreads, the first genre that it mentioned was that it was going to be a sci-fi. And so far it doesn't really feel like a sci-fi. Me, myself, as a not so big of a sci-fi fan, was really scared that it was going to be mostly sci-fi, but so far it really isn't. I think the story is really relatable from like page 1. Just like overall normal life stuff happens that you can relate to really well. And there's a lot of jokes and he writes really funny. I also really liked the robot aspect into this because I think it says, yeah, there's a transformer wearing a suit of samurai armor in this book. And I loved how you could immediately picture like a transformer, and transformers are actually the only like sci-fi thing I think I do like, so that was cool. I can't really say too much else about this book yet because I'm at page 96 right now and it's a little bit over 300 pages, so I'm almost at the 30% mark, but so far so good. The only thing is that I'm not sure if I'll be able to really binge this book. This feels like more of a book which I would like to read like 20, maybe 30 pages per day. And as I usually read at least 100, it's a little bit hard to pick up this book. So I might read another book while also reading this. I'm not 100% sure yet. But for now, I've already read a little bit this morning and I don't really feel like picking it up right now. So I was thinking about doing something new and fun today. I bought like a mini puzzle. I've never really puzzled before, though my boyfriend's family puzzles a lot and I have puzzled like once or twice with them, but I've never really done my own puzzle, so I thought I'd start small. The picture on it is really pretty as well. And it's a puzzle of 99 pieces. I know most like mini puzzles tend to have like really big pieces or really little pieces. And I know 99 isn't really that much, but I thought this would be a little bit more enjoyable. So I'll be puzzling and I'll be reading, or I'll be listening to an audiobook while I puzzle. I'm going to listen to Two Can Play by Ellie Hazelwood. I've listened like about an hour so far, so I've only got 3 hours and 3 minutes left. I can't really tell you that much about how I'm feeling about the book because I am a little lost. I don't know why, but I can't really keep my attention really well with this story, which is a little sad, but while I'm puzzling, I'm going to try to focus a little bit more and I'll update you guys later. Okay, so it's a few days later now and I finished some books and I started some new ones. While puzzling, which I really liked, I finished the puzzle in, I think, a little bit less than 30 minutes. I don't think I'll be puzzling a lot more, like really big pieces, but I really liked that the puzzle was only 99 pieces and I could finish it within like half an hour. I listened to Two Can Play. I didn't finish the audiobook while puzzling, but I did the next day and I ended up rating it 3 stars. It was a nice and fun little romance book, but overall I couldn't really connect that much to the characters, also because it was so short. It was like a 4-hour listen, I believe, and I do have to say at the beginning of the audiobook I couldn't really focus that well on the story, so that was a little bit hard. But I also felt, especially in the beginning, that the male love interest didn't really stick to me in any way. Like, he didn't feel that lovable or had like an amazing personality or something. And of course, it also was because there was like a silly little conflict, which you see a lot in romance books, that could have been solved really easily, and it actually did really easily. But it was cute when they like fell in love and everything was good, but nothing that special. That's why I rated it 3 stars. But overall, it was okay. And I started listening to A Court of Silver Flames. I've actually already read that book last year, but I'm doing a reread or like a re-listen. I'm not sure how I'm going to call this because I've never listened to them before, but it isn't like a reread because I'm technically not reading. Well, I'm still team audiobooks count to your reading goals, so I'm just going to call it a reread. But I'm almost done with ACOTAR for the second time because I'm now listening to A Court of Silver Flames and I'm enjoying my time a lot. I rated it the first time 4 stars, and it's mainly because it was a little bit too smutty for me. But after reading some more romance books and some more romancy books, I'm okay with a little bit of smut. So I think my rating might even be a little bit higher if I finish or when I finish the book. And also I think I didn't love the book that much because I didn't really connect to Nesta, the main character in the 5th book of ACOTAR. And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about a book like Or You Are the Nesta and you can connect to the character, or you've been hurt by a Nesta and you can't really connect to her and you probably won't like her. And that was like my first point of view. I couldn't connect to her because I think like I was hurt by the Nesta. So even though this is kind of like her redemption arc book, I enjoyed reading it and I enjoy reading about her, but I still did not like her at the end of the book. But going into it like knowing that other people can feel like a Nesta and trying to like disconnect it from my own life is making me like her a little bit more, because I do like that they're writing about different types of personalities and that she's like not the typical main character in the book. I like that she has a complicated life and a lot of mental health issues that we're going through. So I'm liking the book a little bit more now than the first time. I also finished reading An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, and I really enjoyed my time. I didn't decide on reading another book while reading this because I got hooked into the story at like I think about halfway through, 50% of the book. I couldn't put it down anymore. I don't know, the mystery aspects were really delving me into the story, and especially at the beginning of the book, there were like a lot of relatable stuff that happened in the book, and the writing was really funny, but overall it didn't really grip me that much. But halfway through it really did, and I ended up rating this book 4 stars. It reads a little bit like a literary fiction. I'm honestly not sure which exact genre this book falls into, but it's not like my typical read, and it isn't a book that I would read like 10 types of these books back to back. It also has a second book in this series, and I would like to eventually read it, but not right now. I think I'll take a few months before I'll delve into that book. But I am excited for it, and I think it's a really unique book overall, especially with like me reading a lot of fantasy and fantasy romance books. There are like a lot of similarities into these books, and not to say that there aren't any unique fantasy books out there. I think this is really a unique book, and I don't think I could compare it to any other book, so I really enjoyed that. I think I also liked it a lot because you're following like a girl who gets really famous and gets a lot of money really fast, and it's nice to see how the story develops with her being famous and how it can like change a person. And I just really enjoyed the read. And I'm so thankful for being gifted this book, because honestly, it wouldn't have been a book I would have picked up myself. So it's really nice to like read something a bit different and enjoying it. So Next up, I started reading Swift and Settled by Lila Sage. I'm not that deep into the book yet. I think I read like one chapter more this morning on my e-reader. So right now I've read 51 pages and the book is a little bit short of 300? Yes. So I'm not that deep into the book yet, so I can't really tell you that much about it. It's a cowboy romance book, the second one in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I think I rated the first book like 3 stars. And honestly, this book feels really fast-paced so far, but I can't really say that I'm like having the best time. I don't know. I also went into this knowing that a lot of people didn't really like this book, but so far it isn't horrible, so I'm really happy. And I'll keep you guys updated once I've read a little bit more. So it's been a while since I last filmed for this vlog. I already finished Swift and Settled by Lila Sage, like I think almost a week ago. But my thoughts, I rated this book 3 stars. It was fun and silly and nothing that special in my opinion, but I had a good time while reading it. I read a lot of this during work, so it was fun reading like these spicy little scenes. Like I felt like I was secretly reading it, but I was giggling and kicking my feet behind the desk in secret. So that was really cute. Overall thoughts, I didn't really connect that well with these characters, especially, well, both of them, but especially I think the male character, the male love interest. I don't know, something felt like a little bit controversial in his character, because in my opinion, he felt to be like the sweet and caring of all of the brothers. But something was a little off, especially at the beginning when, in my opinion, he felt a little bit like demanding towards the female character. Though I think they wrote it that way to make him seem like manly or something, but especially looking at her past and how she used to feel like locked up, I believe, it felt a little bit weird with him being so controlling at the beginning. Might just have been one scene or something, but it felt a little bit off, so the chemistry didn't really hit with me at the beginning. But there happened some cute stuff overall later on in the book. So while reading it, I did enjoy my time, but it was nothing that overall that special in my opinion. But I am really looking forward to the third book in this series, because I know a lot of people say it's their favorite in the overall series, so I am looking forward to it. I'm not going to start it right away. I'll probably save it for like the summertime, I think. But yeah, I had a lot of fun while reading this, and it's nice to see that I'm actually starting to enjoy romances a little bit more, because I think I rated the first book 3 stars as well, but that was mostly because overall it wasn't like anything that bad in my opinion. But I know that while reading the first book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, I felt a little bit like I was not really enjoying my time that much, more so as of me wanting to read like rather a fantasy or something instead of the romance book. I didn't feel that while reading this book. I was enjoying my time and I had fun with it, so that was really nice. But I think I'm going to end the vlog here. I'm already filming another one during this as well, so if you liked the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of me, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!